Why isn't online dating working for you? I'm going to share 5 reasons why coming up next. What's good, everyone? Mario here. In this video, what I want to share with you are 5 reasons why both men and women are unsuccessful at online dating. Things that you all are doing in common, patterns that I've recognized that I want to pass along to you so that you can break those patterns and achieve more online dating success. But first, let me remind you that if you're not fully satisfied with your current dating or your online dating experiences, you're invited to join one or both of my free online academies that send out free weekly videos designed to help you level up your dating game. Sign up is super easy, takes seconds, and you can do so by clicking the link in the description or the card for this video. Now let's get into this online dating world because a lot of people, you expect it's going to be so easy, but let me ask you, is the dating world very easy? No. So why is the online dating world supposed to be easy? Well, because I could do it on my phone. Okay, you could do it on your phone, but you know what? Everyone else is still your competition, and just like the dating world, there's going to be people who are better at it than you. They're going to be people who have certain advantages over you, and they're going to be just like the dating world. You don't just show up and get results. That doesn't happen in the dating world, and it doesn't happen in the online dating world. So it's very similar. It's just a different platform. But you don't just show up and kick ass. You don't expect results, but sometimes we do with online dating. So bottom line is, we just have this impression of online dating that's supposed to be easier, and just success is going to be more so like thrown at us, and then we're surprised, we're shocked, we're disappointed when, like, oh my god, this shit is hard. Getting matches, getting dates, getting the people that I'm attracted to interested in me is difficult. Well, yeah, it's difficult in person too. All right, so not much different. What I want to get into though is these 5 tips for these mistakes that you're making that you can stop making and identify them as like, hey, this is a pattern I do not want to be a part of any longer. All right, the first thing that I want to point out is that people who are unsuccessful are wildly inconsistent with online dating. Understand that online dating is it's a process that is more so than the dating world. It really is dependent upon you realizing that it's a short attention span culture and working within that. So that means that you have to be more consistent. You can't be going as long without connecting with somebody because you'll lose the momentum of the conversation, the connection, and also the ability for someone else to, in the meantime, jump into your position, your time, your attention, maybe even the Friday night that you're planning to connect with somebody. They're going to jump in on that. If you want to be Mr. Inconsistent or Miss, I check my online dating platform only every 4 or 5 days, you will be missed. You'll be passed up. You will miss out, and it's not a good practice to be inconsistent with online dating. You should be looking at that sucker at least every other day. All right. The statistics are, it is what, like, people, online daters tend to check it like throughout their day, daily. They're checking it. It's not to say that everybody does, but you need to imagine that everybody basically checks their online dating platform 4 times a day. All right. So consistency is something that you need to be bringing to the table. If not, you will be punished in the online dating world. All right. The second thing that I want you to understand is most men and women who are not having the best success are making a bad first impression, or at least not their best first impression. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why because they have shitty online dating profiles. They don't really do a great job with pictures. They don't do a great job with written content. And how can they? Because they took all of 5 minutes creating the profile. Here, they slap up some pictures, throw up some written content. That's good. All right, now let me try and connect with the hottest guys and girls that I can find. They're not impressed. And then you're like, well, what's going on? It's crickets over here in my inbox. Well, it's because your first impression, if it wasn't bad, it could be better. I mean, if you spend 5 minutes on something, okay, but it could be better if you had spent 15. And imagine if you had actually known what was a better practice for what to do, what to include, how to sort of set things up in your online dating profile. Makes a big difference. Think of it as being an art, because when you think of it that way, you're going to be like, okay, well, maybe I should study something like the videos on this channel that tell me a lot about pictures and written content so that you can do it in a better way. Trust me, you need to learn this stuff so that you can draw more attention, draw better attention, and retain that attention. All right. So you all can do a better job of developing your first impression with your written content and your pictures. So understand that's where a lot of people are just fucking up. Is it you? Probably. All right. That's something that we can all probably do a little bit better. But for sure, one of the big mistakes of people who are just like, I don't know why this is so hard, is that they're overestimating the quality of their profile. All right. Number three, kind of following in line, a big mistake of both men and women in the online dating world who are not achieving success is that they're overestimating their perceived value. Now, this is something I want to attack on a couple fronts. One is, I think it's kind of healthy for us to kind of have just like a padded, sort of inflated sense of self. I get that. I think it's somewhat healthy, but I think it needs to be rooted in some form of reality and understanding of what you're competing against. So you can't be so out of touch. But the truth is, it's very likely that at the very least, out of 1 to 10, if you think you're an 8, most other people would probably rate you a 6. Okay, and if you think you're a 9, other people would be like, more like a 7. And it's okay. I just don't want you thinking that you're a 9 if you're a 2. All right. Now that's a big deal. All right. But there's a healthy level of kind of overestimating yourself a little bit so that you don't underestimate yourself. But then if the gap is so wide, like you're just gonna be setting yourself up for disappointment. Hey, I'm gonna message this model, and you get mad when she doesn't respond to you. So like that's part of your own frustration, is like if you're a 2 going after a 10, and that sucks to kind of call people 2s and 10s, whatever. But for you to understand this conversation, this concept, imagine being a 2 and expecting getting a 10 to respond to you. Yeah, it's going to be frustrating, and you're going to be beating yourself up for nothing. That shit is going to continue to happen. You need to kind of understand where you are. Now, the other side of that is with online dating, most people with perceived value, you don't understand just how little perceived value you have. Even if you're attractive, even if you're charming, even if you have a great profile, you need to understand that in the online dating world, you're essentially just like pictures and a paragraph to somebody. How much can they really care about pictures in a paragraph? Maybe a little bit, somewhat, but not as much as you think or believe or would hope. So understand that your perceived value, even if you're good looking, even if you're a catch, is very low. So you can't just like do whatever you want and think that people will be like waiting on you, or just like on your every message and like, oh, I can't wait for that guy to message me, or I can't wait for that girl to do this, blah blah blah, or I care so much about this person. They don't. Okay, even if they like somebody, they can forget about you tomorrow. So you need to understand that perceived value is different in the online dating world because they haven't even met you in person yet. At least in the real world, if you met somebody, you've seen them, you've connected with them, you've gotten their phone number, you've had a conversation with them, you've seen some sort of your dynamic in action face to face. In the online dating world, you haven't done any of that. So you can really only, or actually should, only value somebody so much before you meet them in person. You got to understand that. And a lot of people who are using online dating and are not getting the results don't realize that. That's a big issue. All right, number 4 is self-sabotage, which is something that I found a lot of men and women are doing in their online dating endeavors. I'll go and I'll work with people, men and women, with online dating, and they'll be like, I don't get any messages, I don't get any connections, I don't get any dates, whatever. I'm like, okay, well, let me see what's going on. I take a look at their online dating profiles, and I'm in their inbox, and what do I find? I find messages, I find connections, matches, conversations that they didn't respond to, uh, first meets that they flaked out on and didn't show up, people that asked for their number where they didn't give it, um, people times where they asked for the number and then they never used it. All these moments of self-sabotage where people are acting like other people, or the universe is coming out to kind of make things harder for them, but they're really not taking advantage of, they're destroying their own opportunities. That's something that a lot of us do because we're like, at a very deep level, we're like, fuck it, it's not going to work out anyway, so what's the point of meeting them? I don't think she likes me that much anyway. She's probably just like, humoring me, so I'm not going to call her. That's what people are doing. That's what you might be doing. So what I want you to do is look at your online dating, your experiences with that. And you might even be able to just look at your inbox to recognize all the moments of sabotage where you're not doing something that you could have, when someone asks for your number and you don't respond, when you get a number and you don't do anything, when you are supposed to meet or somebody's down to meet and you just never pull the trigger, or don't meet up with them. That's on you. All right, so watch out for self-sabotage. It's something that's not really talked about, but that's a phenomenon that I see happening a lot. Number 5, The fourth mistake that both men and women are make with online dating is that they're not competitive. And you need to understand, is the dating world competitive? hmm You know it is. So is the online dating world. But you, for some reason, are like in company with many other men and women who think that it shouldn't be, or that it isn't, or that it, this is it's not right that it's competitive. You think that you could just show up and get great, amazing connections, conversations, dates, sex, relationships, whatever. You think that that comes easily. No, it doesn't. Whether it's dating or online dating, there's always going to be a cream of the crop. There's always going to be below average, average, and above average. It's going to be competitive. Who do you think is going to be the most successful in the dating world? Above average. Who do you think is going to be the most successful in the online dating world? Above average. Now, understand, it's not just all about looks. So it's just saying above average in total capacity. Okay? So it just makes sense. And even though it makes sense, people still fight it because people want to be like, oh, I'm not going to try. I'm not going to message somebody first. There's so many women out there who are like, I'm not going to message first. Well, if you don't message that very attractive guy first, you know what? He might not message you first, and some other woman might message him first. Who do you think is going to talk to first? Do you think that he's going to be like, oh, that one hasn't said anything to me, so yeah, that's the one. Or he's going to be like, oh, there's someone attractive messaging me in my inbox. Should I ignore them for someone who hasn't messaged me? Yeah, like for real. Like you have to understand that life is competitive. If you want to win more, you got to shoot your shot more. Ladies got to be more aggressive. Guys, you have to take your shot. Guys, you have to be competitive and not have lame openers. No hi, hey, how are you? What's going on? How's your day going? Fuck that shit. That's boring. Nobody likes it. And you just need to be competitive. Like you can't be competitive with a lame opening message. Opening messages are an art. They don't take too much effort, but you should be looking at the content of their pictures and the written content for ammunition to create a relevant and intriguing response-worthy opening message. All right, so in different ways, both you ladies and men need to be more proactive, more aggressive, because you have to understand that it's competitive out there. All right, so don't think that someone else out there is just going to hand over success or just like concede a date or whatever to you because you showed up. It doesn't work out like that. All right, so there we have it. I've shared with you 5 mistakes that men and women are making in the online dating arena that are very, very much resulting in having an unhappy and less than impactful online dating experience. So if you don't want that to be you, I get that. Hopefully some of these tips have helped you out. If you have others to add to the list, by all means, share them in the comment section below. I look forward to reading them. And as always, you all take care until the next video.
Thanks for watching. If you appreciated the content from this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And male or female, if you're not satisfied with your dating or online dating experience, I invite you to join one or both of our free academies. We have Get Game Group Academy and Get Game Group Online Dating Academy, both of which send out free weekly videos designed to help you up your game.